Hello, this is Dan again with InterPC Computers, and today we're going to talk about something that's very, very important, and that is picking the correct cloud provider. Recently, a rather large cloud provider went out of business, and something significant happened, which is compromising a lot of people's data. We're going to get into that and give you some tips on how you can prevent that from happening to your company. Before we get into what to look for in a cloud computing company, what I'd like to do is briefly talk about the pros of cloud computing. Why would you consider cloud computing for your company? Well, the first is you can, if you do it properly, lower your IT costs. And there are two different ways you're going to do this. Either through hard costs, it's actually, as far as budget goes, less money per month to run your IT department, or you're going to save time and money by having less downtime. So those are the two ways you can lower your IT costs. You will have the ability to access your desktop or applications from anywhere or any device. So it really gives you the opportunity to work from home, which is perfect for what we're going through right now with COVID-19. And with most good cloud backup or cloud platforms, disaster recovery and backup are automated. For instance, we use Microsoft Azure. Every night at 1 in the morning, all data is backed up and it's stored into a different drive. We do have the option of actually storing the information into a different data set altogether. We are also able to create what's called shadow copy, which throughout the day takes documents and saves them. So if you have a document in a folder and delete it by accident, there's a chance you can get that back through shadow copy. And it's much faster, cheaper, and easier to set up a new employee. When somebody has a new employee, it literally takes us about an hour to really get them set up and running, depending on the systems that they're using. So it's a scalable solution. You only pay for what you're going to use. And finally, you can use it without having to own it, which means that you're putting your data on somebody else's physical servers, whether it's Amazon, AWS, or Microsoft, or a private cloud. You don't own that hardware, which is also another way how you can lower your IT costs. And also it prevents you from having to refresh your systems every 5 years. So the cons of cloud computing, which there are a lot of, so you have to look out and understand what you're getting into when you do cloud computing. First thing you need to think about is, what if the internet goes down? And outages do happen, not as much as they used to, and bandwidth is really getting quite good these days from Verizon and all these internet service providers, but you do have to look out. If you lose your internet, what are you going to do? What's your backup plan? Are you going to have a redundant internet connection? Are you going to use your phone as a hotspot, which is also a good alternative? Data security, and this is actually getting into who you choose as a provider. And when you're looking at data security, who are the people that are managing the servers? Do you know who they are? Or are you getting an outsourced product that's going to India or Ukraine? So you want to know exactly who is managing your data when you are going to put your data on a cloud. Certain line of business applications won't work in the cloud, so you do want to make sure that you do what's called a proof of concept, POC, and try all the software that's going to work on the new system. For the most part, if your program runs on a Windows operating system, it'll work with most cloud products that are running Windows as the primary platform for the cloud platform. And compliance issues. Are there any things you need to look out for as far as HIPAA compliancy or any financial requirements? So you do want to make sure that everything that you're doing with your cloud computing solution is compliant. Okay, the biggest problem with cloud computing, and this I really want you to look at and think about with anybody that you're going to be doing business with, and that is, who are you actually entrusting your data with? So the cloud provider is the biggest thing that you need to look out for. What happens if cloud storage goes out of business? What happens then if your cloud provider goes out of business? If the company that provides you with the cloud servers goes out of business, your servers are gone. If your cloud storage provider goes under, your data will probably be gone with it. So really, you want to be very, very careful. And just recently, last week, a very large company, I'm not going to name them, but you can do some Google search. We're in July 1st, 2020 here. Do a search for cloud companies that have gone out of business July 1st, 2020. And I know we are an MSP, and we vetted this company before we moved people onto that platform. And I'll tell you, I kind of got a bad feeling about the way they were running their structure. I didn't like the way the data was being transferred between servers. I didn't like the way that we got into IT support, another huge thing, and we wouldn't be able to get through on the phone immediately. So with a cloud service provider, you want to make sure that you have access to support like within 5 minutes. So you have an issue, you can get on the phone and you can be talking to somebody in 5 minutes or less. You have to have that. If you don't, then you're really taking a lot of risk. You have to vet that company, make sure you call 3 or 4 businesses that have their servers on there, and then still go out and find out who's on their servers and do some investigation on your own. That's mainly for private cloud. I don't think you need to worry as much if you're going to be using AWS or Microsoft Azure, which is what we partner with. The reason why is because they are a tried and true platform. They're a huge company. They have the resources to have those servers go down. In this case, with this private company that went under, they went out of business probably because of COVID. So it's unfortunate. Their servers went off at Friday afternoon. And these people cannot get their data back. They can't call. There's nobody answering the phones. Nobody's answering emails. They are dead in the water. So be sure to understand who you're doing business with. Make sure that they're reputable. Make sure they've been in business for at least 8 years and that they have a good track record as far as the CEOs go. CEOs, CFOs, and CIOs of that company. So just be very, very careful. This has been a huge issue for a lot of MSPs, managed service providers, who are hosting their clients on these servers. These MSPs are going to get in trouble because this cloud company went out of business. So if you have any questions about this very important topic, please get in touch with me, Dan@myrpc.com, and I'd be happy to get on the phone with you and chat about who you should be looking for your particular company and for hosting your data. Thank you very much and have a great day.